This morning, people in Dorian's path are bracing for impact, stocking up on all of the essentials, but some of us may also be concerned about our travel plans. And so joining us now is John Morrison from Travel Planners International. John, it is always good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
This is a great time to have you in because, as you know, there are people who are planning vacations, are going to Puerto Rico, they may be going to the Dominican Republic, and some of these other places. What does it look like for these passengers?
So obviously right now, those people that already have travel plans being affected, they've got, if they have a cruise, most of the major cruise lines have already rerouted their existing itineraries over to a Western Caribbean itinerary, so they're staying out of the path of the storm. Those resorts that are going to be on in Puerto Rico and on the Dominican Republic have largely kind of advised their already existing guests, hey, you know, we're still kind of in a wait and see, but if this continues on the path that it's going, it's most likely going to cancel their travel arrangements there.
What people are concerned about is if, okay, they want to cancel their plans themselves, not because the hotel or the cruise line is saying cancel, but they say, listen, I don't feel safe. Can they do that and get a refund?
In most cases, no, unfortunately. Now, if they purchase travel insurance, you do usually have some travel insurance plans will cover for emergency situations or kind of weather situations, and will allow them to actually cancel due to a named storm. But most of them would have been needed to have been purchased further in advance. So usually before the storm is actually named is when you actually have to name the storm.
I'm not coughing.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was like, oh man.
It's not you. No, it's not you.
It's a drink.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of people, I very rarely get insurance.
Yeah.
But how important is it?
It's obviously, you never need it until you do, and then that one time you do need it. It's the way I pitch it to people is that it's like car insurance. You don't want to ever get in a car accident, but it's something you just kind of have to plan for. So the same thing with travel insurance. It's not something you ever want to need or use, but it's something you do want to purchase every time.
So what should people look out for? What are some of the warning signs that they should look for if they say, okay, I'm going to go, they get to the airport, they're looking at the news, right, that's up there on the screen, and it says, okay, it's gonna hit. Should they continue? Should they stop? Because a lot of times what I've found is that the cruise line's like, come on, we'll just reroute you, or come on, we'll just...
Yeah. So, and a lot of times the travel suppliers themselves, obviously, they still want the customers to come.
They want the money. They want the revenue.
But if they end up having to cancel, in most cases, the travel supplier is going to reimburse the customer. They'll usually get their full fare back, if not then some. A lot of times, if it's something that they are forcing the cancellation, they will give you usually some additional credit on a future cruise. So they do their best to try to kind of make it right. Obviously, it's outside of their control where the storm goes. But those destinations that are kind of landlocked, they can't really obviously move out of the way of the storm. So those will usually cancel just to be on the safe side, and those usually will give usually full refunds. And then the airlines the same way. They will usually work with their customers to either give a voucher or a credit or reroute them to another destination.
So the bottom line is, yes, you can probably get a refund if it looks like the storm's going to head your way. But the other important thing you mentioned is travel insurance. Always a good idea.
Always purchase it. And again, a lot of times you have to purchase it well in advance.
And you do. That's true.
Yeah. Sometimes right at the time you book. A lot of policies won't cover you for weather or pre-existing conditions if you don't actually purchase it at the time you booked your travel.
Very good advice. We always appreciate when you stop by.
My pleasure.
Next time you stop by, I won't have something stuck in my throat either. All right.